Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show, and today is the review of the very first episode of Series 11 of Doctor Who. Yes, we have finally reached the brand new series point where Chris Chibnall takes over as head showrunner, and Jodie Whittaker is the Doctor, the very first female Doctor. So this, of course, episode was, of course, the woman who fell to Earth. Of course, if you do remember from the regeneration story of Peter Capaldi last Christmas, the Doctor kind of fell out of the TARDIS and crash landed toward Earth. So this episode had no theme song, or opening for that matter. We had a little glimpse of it when, of course, Jodie kind of first appeared, but that was it. So kind of a unique thing that they did. Speaking of Jodie Whittaker, how did I think of her as the Doctor? Well, for her debut episode, I think she did a phenomenal little job. She just took control of the role, and she just went with it. And that's all we want from a new Doctor. She definitely has a little quirkiness, but she's a lot of fun, and I can definitely see glimpses of this is going to be a very fun, kind of adventurous incarnation, I feel, of the Doctor, and she did a great job. I cannot wait to see what Series 11 brings in the near future. Now, also, let's talk about the companions. They had introduced 3 companions in this episode, and I was worried that none of them would get development. I felt all of them would either be ignored or save development for the near future. And I really think that they developed each of them very well. Graham was kind of he's not very believing what's going on. He's very cautious in a way. You got Ryan, who's, I think, is the only one who didn't get developed too much. You can tell he's just kind of there along for the ride, it felt like to me. And Yaz is just the very, by the books cop. She always wants to help people. She's there for justice. And the not companion, of course, played by Sharon D. Clark, Grace, which is Graham's wife. And she was a great character in this episode, and she was very brave, and I like that. And of course, the villain of this week was a very interesting creature who looked to me when he first appeared like the Predator. I won't lie. I thought, Predator? No, it's a bounty hunter type of creature. This creature had a very creepy design. His face was filled with teeth. Very creepy idea. I kind of liked it, actually. Now, of course, this creature is here on the Earth to hunt a random human, and that random human is the person on the bus with the other 4, and they have to now save him. But of course, they have to find him. They have to figure out where he is, where the creature is going. It's normal Doctor Who fare. But yeah, overall, this episode, it was very slow at parts, but it also picked up at parts, and it was a very good balance, I felt, of an episode. Overall, I thought The Woman Who Fell to Earth was a pretty decent Doctor Who story. It's not the best of terms of first Doctor stories, I feel, but what it did was it did great with introducing this new Doctor. And I also like that they left things a little bit mysterious for us in the whole term of Doctor Who. There's a lot of things that still have not been revealed yet, and I am excited to see what next week will bring and see if we get the answers to them. And I'm also excited to see how much more development these characters, the new companions, will get. I definitely think Ryan could have a little bit more development, but Yaz, I can't wait to see a little bit more about her side, see a little bit more about her, and I'm kind of curious about all of them, to learn a bit more about them, because this episode, it did a great job introducing them, and now we have to learn a lot more about them and see what type of people are, how they handle situations, like monsters and all that, and I am excited for that. So yeah, The Woman Who Fell to Earth, a pretty good first appearance for a Doctor. The episode itself was, I would say, okay. It's definitely not one of probably my favorite season openers of Doctor Who, but it was at least a pretty decent start to a new series, and I'm definitely excited to see where it heads into the future. So I would give The Woman Who Fell to Earth a 8 out of 10. If you guys saw this episode, what did you think of this episode, and what did you think of Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor? Was she amazing, or do you think she needed a little bit more for you to like her as the Doctor? But to me, this is the regeneration story, so there's always that little post-regeneration to them, so we don't quite know totally what the Doctor is going to be like yet. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that. I also thought it was kind of funny how the Doctor had to pick her clothes, how she got her clothes because she didn't have a TARDIS, which I thought was a great scene. And I completely forgot about one of my favorite things about this episode was that the Doctor built things. She, of course, not having her TARDIS, for most of the episode, she basically had to build her own sonic screwdriver, which was cool. The TARDIS did not give her that sonic screwdriver, which I thought was really cool. We saw her how to build it. We welded. She was also kind of unsure. It was just fun, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And of course, her building the kind of communication device to find her TARDIS. It was just great to see that side of it, and how she was kind of like, this should be fun. Let's see what happens. I like that. I like to see Doctor have a lot more like building kind of things. I like to see that. And you also have a Doctor using the brain, or, you know, trying to use that brain, because it's still in the post-regeneration state, so it's still a little bit wonky. I will say, though, the villain of the story was probably the weakest part of it. It was a very unique villain, you know, this kind of aliens who are hunting humans, takes them as trophies. Kind of interesting, but I think it needed a little bit more development to really understand like the whole kind of thing about it. At least for me. Well, tell me guys your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.